fresh limousine. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, like I'm living the dream. Everybody get down on the dance floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sugar, sugar, sugar.
Hello everyone. Yes. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are from now. A good day to you all. Thank you very much for joining with us. Yes, this is the grand training session for making a killer CV with the components you need to add or something you need to skip from your CV for a better job placement. So what happens, everyone? We get ready for the job every time. We think, yes, we have done the graduation, we have done the post-graduation, and so many things. So what to worry about? But what is most necessary is our CV, because this is the first thing you are going to present in front of the interviewer. So here we are with our life coach and dean, Mr. Ahmed Bari sir, with us. Thank you very much for this training today. Yes, I am really grateful to all of our participants, officials, and everyone from our projects, because of you all, I got the chance to join this training with sir and everyone who have been joining with us. Thank you very much. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. But first and most important thing, I'm requesting everyone to share this video. Please do share this video, because that's the way you can actually help other people. They have the similar kind of problem with the CV and other stuff. Okay, can I ask the request? Can I ask the favor from you, all of you, just to share this video, please? Do share this video so that it can be remain in your on your profile, as well as you can help other friends and family members who need the support for the CV and resume, CV or resume, something like that. Okay.
Okay, let me tell you, sir, something. I'm really very sorry to inform you that there's some kind of echo. Can you check again?
I'm actually okay. I got it. Okay, I think this should be good.
So right? In the meantime, yes, thank you very much, Radia Bint Azad, Ashikur Rahman, Arafat, Tasmia Zahan, Laiva Haq, Tabassum Firdaus, Tausif bin Akram, Shishir Khan, Nazmul Hossain Jishan, Lamia. So many people have joined with us. Thank you so much for joining. Yes. Back to you, sir.
Excellent, excellent. And just one thing I would like to know from all of you, like, who is the first time you actually been with us in this platform, using this platform? Like the first time you actually enjoying some online, because we have done so many online training program last year, and during the COVID, we have done more than, I think, if we consider the impact session or also the training session, is more than 60, 70 impact session of training we have done. So if you join the first time, please do write, this is my first time. Please do write, this is my first time. Okay, or just first. Okay, and we are good. Thank you so much. I can see so many new faces as well as some old faces as well. So thank you so much. I think that the thing we're going to discuss today is very important regarding the CV. Unfortunately, I don't do this training anymore with the CV things, but unfortunately, after a long time, I'm seeing that the similar mistakes are repeating every single time. And you know that around if I consider the Asian market, like a good percentage of number of the young generation, they're not getting job only because of their poor CV, only because of their poor CV. So it is very important that the CV, you have to improve your CV, and especially CV is the first thing that actually been presented from you to the employer, and we consider the CV is very important thing, because that's the first thing actually your employers see. So before asking you for the interview, the CV actually make a huge leverage for you to whether they will ask you to come for the interview or not. But unfortunately, you don't care about this thing. You think that it's quite okay. I don't need a quality CV. I just somehow you just copy and paste the CV from other people and just present, just change your name and some details and then some information, and then you just present to the just apply one after another, and then you get the rejection. So when you get the rejection, that actually means a lot. Like you feel bad about this thing, that why nobody's actually asking me for the interview, because The most important thing, you are not actually, you are not presenting the right way, or the information you are presenting is not up to the mark. That is that, or also the few things we'll discuss, that what are the major mistake you do. So we'll discuss those things, like what are the major mistake you do, and then we also consider what to do for getting the call from the employer. So this, okay, I can see that some are at the first time. Thank you so much. And we can see that we are actually live from 3 different platforms. One is our English community, that the student who are actually, we are under the project of SIP. And then we have also the WASDA, which is actually broadcasting the globally, and also the International Youth Summit, that's also broadcasting the global audience, because we have the very good number of international audience with us. So this, so what I'm going to say, it will be like, it is unified, like it, I will balance it so that like the CV you will get today, from today, it will be balanced for anywhere. It will be balanced. You can apply for your local market job, or you can apply for your international market job. So you can actually apply this CV. But let's talk about the mistake first. Okay. So I can see a good number of people are now actually logged in. And again, I'm requesting everyone, do share this video. Please do share it. Just only share a button. Just share on your profile. Okay. Just share on your profile, and then it will remain in your profile. And so that you and other friends of you can actually watch this video, and you can improve your CV. All right. So let me just pop up my what do you call that, presentation slide, so that I can talk about from there. Okay, you can see, probably it will come. Is it coming? No, it's not coming. Okay, just a
not
moment.
yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Joy, Rabia, Ruhianjum, Farah, Ulfat Rahman, Orpita, Nus, Proma Sharin, Saifur Rahman. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay. So what we're going to do is like, oh, I think the okay. So first bit, we'll talk about the 7 deadly mistake. I will tell this is a deadly. It's a very silly mistake, but these are the deadly mistake you do in the CV when you. Maybe I will skip some of the things, but if you know that other things are also important, that you can do. So I'm just going to share 7 mistakes you do, like the. But before that, let's talk about the what is the difference between CV and resume. I think it's very common thing that many of you don't understand what's the difference between the CV and resume, and which one to use when you actually, when you apply for any job or anything, which one you should use for it. So the CV is not limited to 2 page. This is first thing, the difference between CV and resumes. Curriculum vitae is you can actually add more qualification when you actually looking for, you need to present so many things, then you can actually use a CV. A common thing is used in like the CV is used mostly in the academic purposes, like you are applying for any academic job, or you're actually applying for any scholarship program or anything, you actually go for CV. CV is like wider thing. You can explain more detail, and you can explain more relevant, like or everything what you have accomplished in your so far, you can actually present in your CV. So CV is not limited to the 2 pages, but the resume, on the other hand, is mostly used for the job sector. Okay, so if you apply for any kind of job, then you have to follow the resume, and resume is like you should limit it in 2 pages. Okay, it should be limited within the 2 pages. It should not cross more than 2 pages. Okay, and in terms of resume, you have to customize according to the job. Okay, so CV is like something you have to illustrate a lot of things, whatever you have achieved, whatever you have accomplished, everything you can put there on the CV. But it is mostly used for the academic purposes of job, or academic scholarship, or anything which is actually related to the academic things. On the other hand, resume is one thing that you have to use it for job application. Okay, so the format is actually, and in the I saw many what do you call, like the employer is asking for send you resume or CV. Sometimes they just use the both word. Sometimes they say send you CV, or sometimes they actually ask for send you resume. So you have to understand which one is actually asked by the employer. But at the same time, sometimes that the whoever the head of organization, they actually are what we call it, it's kind of like we call it like a kind of backdated sometimes. They are not actually know what is the current trend of the scenario. They are the I'm not judging their skills on other things, but there's lack of information, because most of the time that back in 90s, 50s or 60s, people may ask for the job, you submit the biodata sometimes,
Yeah.
and then it comes when the corporate culture is actually started, then some people started, okay, not biodata, send you CV. And then latest, very like last 20 years, it comes like the send only CV, because people want to have a very precise information about you. So resume is the thing that you must have within the 2 pages of things. Within the 2 page, you have to explain why you are applying for this job. So this is the core thing, the difference between the resume and the CV. But you can search for more. I don't think that you have to spend more time on which is what. The common thing you can do for it, like for job application, whatever you send to them, think that is a resume. I have to send a resume, not the CV, unless you are applying for a academic position or something is. But if you have so many things we have to fit in within the 2 page, or sometimes you can go for it, but you don't need to do like you have to clearly understand that the more experience you have to concise and limit them within the 2 page for job application. Okay, now the next thing. Okay, why my slides are not going? Sometimes it's happened because a lot of things are processing. So I think soon it will happen. It will go soon. I don't. Okay. All right. So something happened. What to do? Okay. Now, yes, as I said, that top 7 mistakes while writing your CV or resume. Okay. So this is what I hope it will not run fast because I already press you. Okay. So the number one, I just want to understand all of you that never attempt to just write one CV for everything. Okay. Sometimes what you do, like you think that I just need to write one CV and then send that CV to all different kind of organization, to the financial institution, to the unless you are very much specific. Even though if you are in the same industry, if you are working in the same industry, or you want to work for the this one industry, but in different, you are sending the CV or resume, especially with, let's talk about the resume. If I said CV, sometimes you have to think that I'm actually focusing on the resume. So you try to make one CV or resume and you send to everyone, company A, company B, company C, company D. And why you do this? You don't want to spend time on designing or improving your CV. Okay, and this is one of the major mistakes you do, because when the organization find the similar kind of CV, because you are actually what they are asking for in the advert, you are not actually reading that thing. You are asked by your friend that there is a job opportunity, let's go and just apply for that job. How many of you agree with this? That you don't read the advert and you've been asked by some of your friends to send the resume or whatever the things. Okay, can you just give me a knock? Can you just share in the comments?
Yes, everyone. Do you agree with this? Have you ever done this, or have you seen anyone doing this? Yes, Noor Ahmed agree with us. Okay, let's see.
So they're saying yes or no?
Yes, so agree with us. Yes,
okay.
Lamia, I agree.
Yeah, because you don't see that, but what they are actually looking for is what kind of position, what will be the responsibility. So sometimes you all friends have, sometimes you all share the CV, so you have the CV. So why you ask by your friend that, okay, you send the CV, then going to send. And this is the deadly mistake you do. This is one of the deadly mistake you do. So you try to fit one, like try to size one and fit for all kind of jobs. So you just design one CV and then you send to everyone. So this is a deadly mistake. Don't, from today, please don't do this. Please don't do this. If you want to get, you don't need to actually search for thousands of jobs. You can search only 10 to 15. And if you properly prepare that CV for that, according to that position, according to that organization, then you will be able to get your job or interview call. So do not go for thousands. Don't send hundreds plus CV to 100 different companies. It will never work. If you send the same CV to different company, it will never work. Okay. So this is a tricky thing. I would like. I think many of you already know. Like when the CV comes to us, what amount of time we actually spend to read the CV? Can anyone just write it down? What amount of time? I know many of you know, and already many of you attend some of my training sessions where we have discussed about the interview and CV skill, which is not my preferable, because I have done this long before. I used to do this for BD jobs and other things in Bangladesh, and on a lot of NGOs and other universities I actually visited, and I talk about this thing. But nowadays I don't like to talk about this thing. This is, I think, but unfortunately, as I said, that I'm observing that it's still so many mistakes you are carrying on, that which is really challenging in everywhere. It's not only any particular countries. I'm saying that is commonly, we can see that is in different environment, different countries, that doing the same mistake. Actually, the young, especially the young guys who have no interest to spend time on your resume. So can anyone show me? Yeah.
30 seconds.
Okay.
Pooja
and next.
says, Laiva says 5 to 7 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So, yes.
Exactly. I think the answer is there. That actually an employer, he or she actually only spends 7 seconds, on an average 7 to 10 seconds, just to see whether they will go for the, like, they will have a very quick view of the CV, and then they decide whether they will go to read further step. So if you just send one size to everyone, it will not actually approachable, and they will reject you. They will think it is the same monotonous things. You are asking for the same thing without knowing the things what actually important for the CV. All right, or the what actually important for the employer. You are not observing, or you are not understanding what they are actually looking for, and then you just you have a CV and you just send through that CV. So this is the wrong thing, because we have only 7 minutes to create the impression. 7 seconds to create the impression, so that they can read or go through your resume. Okay. Mistake number 2 is poor formatting, or the get-up or the information presented. Sometimes I found that recently, if you Google it, you will see thousands of templates and samples are there. Okay. So you are also confused which one I should follow. The thing is, like, your poor formatting, your presentation and poor formatting actually disappoint the employer, that the one they're looking for, you are not actually presenting your information accordingly. So format is very important thing. So this is the second mistake most of the time everyone does, or the get up, the CV get up, and also the information they are presenting. They're actually using different kind of font size, different kind of font patterns. So these are actually not applicable for a professional CV. You should have you should maintain a one format, or unique format in the writing, especially the font and also the size. Careful about this thing, and also the line spacing. You have to be very careful about those things. These are very important actually, because if I can see a different kind of pattern, like different font size, different font used in the different one CV, it's actually been really annoying. Like, so careful about like, and so try to improve your format things. Number three mistake is, as I said, that you copy and paste someone else's CV or resume and present to yourself like, this is my CV. Okay, so this is actually not being helpful. People will not actually especially the emperor, are not happy, because you know that for a long time when we see any CV, we can actually because we have to think that we are actually recruiters, some sort of recruiter, and we recruit often, we recruit so many people. And for my life, like lifelong, I've been working as a recruiter. I think over my career I have recruited more than 20,000 people. So I've seen so many CVs, and I have read so many CVs, and also my once I used to train people about the CV and interview skills. So I have that passion to see. Whenever I see the CV, I actually see and I say, oh, this is just a copy, because I can understand this is a copy, or because when it is uniqueness, we can understand. We can smell the CV. We can smell the CV that, oh, okay, this is really a good CV. This is really good CV, or this is a really organic CV. We can call this organic CV. So I'm sure that you are not able to develop an organic CV, but it is a quite possible that you can actually design your CV is different than other people. Okay, very often I'll talk about these things. So um, out of 100 CV, or maybe one CV I found is really something actually approach. But you know, that's the biggest challenge, because we need people, but unfortunately we don't have quality people. So we have to invite those people, even though they have the very poor CV. So we actually invite. So sometimes you can know, I have done the CV, and they actually asked me for the interview and I got the job. That's okay. That's quite okay. But to yourself, for your CV, you might reduce your actually the price, or the honorarium you are asking. Because if you can present a organic CV, that's mean like, which is really developed by yourself, which is like the formatting is really presentable, really appealing, then we actually, having seen the CV, we actually, when we negotiate the salary, we actually increase the price. Because when we see that this person has given a good time or presented a good CV, we actually consider at least 10 to 15% increase. Your salary will increase if you can present a good CV. That actually, so don't think that CV has no value. CV has a huge value. At actually, for your honorarium, it's really matter. It's really matter. So careful about this thing. Okay. So let's move on to mistake number 4. That is lack of specifics. Like, you in the CV, you just mention about so many things sometimes, or sometimes you don't mention anything. So when we don't have any specific thing from you, that's mean your achievements, or your skill set, or your experience, or anything related, your co-curricular activities or extracurricular activities. If we don't have those kind of things, then obviously we'll judge, or we'll decide this is a very poor CV. Something like, you just only have your you just put your statement, and then you post your number of skill. You are good at this. You good this. Then structure of your academics. Then your personal information. So which is actually the number 7, that you put so many irrelevant personal information. I will go for that. So lack of specific things are actually very annoying. So it actually it creates the challenges. Okay, it creates the challenges that from, like, you are saying that you are very good in this, or you are team player, or you are challenge taker, or you are a quick learner. How you define that thing? How you define this skill? So these are very important things. You don't just put, I'm a quick learner, I'm a good in time management, or I'm a team player, or I am hardworking, honest. How you define that you are hardworking? How you define that you are honest? Okay, so these are actually very important. So I'll tell you when we go to the next bit, I'll tell you how to present those things. So maybe you are not, but you actually don't specify what to do. Now, number 5 mistake is no action verb. That's when we say like in your CV, you don't express yourself. I have achieved. Okay, I have done these things. So these are actually very important that you have performed, you have done something of your own, and then you have to or something you have to use the action verbs. Go to the web like Google and look for the action verbs. There's so many action verbs. So you have to, but do not use strong jargon like very strong words. These actually make more confusion. Okay, so use the simple action verbs, but that will show that you have achieved this thing, you have done this thing. You get this information with the numbers. With the numbers is very important also, that you are working this thing, so you have done this. So these are very important information in your CV that actually lack. We see so many things. When we see even you are applying for a fresh position, it's still important that you use the action verbs. So Google it, you will get thousands of action words, and then use some of the common 10 to 15 action words in your CV so that your CV will be appealing to us or the employer. Okay. Number 6 is, as I said, that lack of evidence. It will kind of related with the specific. I would rather say like the numbers. We are talking about the numbers, and the evidence is actually how you achieve this thing, or what makes that you are actually, I can think that you are actually good in these things or good at these things. So these are very important things that you have to present the evidence. Don't just write, I have done this thing or I have achieved this thing. So in which context, in which situation, or which area, which year, and what you have actually achieved. So these will all come together. So this is very important for a good CV or resume. You must give the evidence of your achievements. These are very important. Evidence of your achievement. Something like I found that people don't know whether they have achieved any scholarship or not, which is really like funny, because they are actually doing some scholarship program, but they don't know which this is actually a scholarship program, and they have to mention how to mention. These are actually a lot of things I found recently, and so this is very important, that do not just present a CV without any evidence. Try to include the evidence in your CV. Then number 7 is adding. I think it's the most funniest mistake you all do, adding irrelevant personal information. So what kind of personal information? Can anyone just can anyone write what kind of irrelevant personal information you put in your CV? Can anyone write this thing? I want to know. I want to know this thing. Sorry. Oops. I want to know. It is in our CV. Okay, we have some question. Okay, like marriage. Exactly. Lamia, you said you. Okay. Okay. Marriage or not? Yes. Absolutely,
Exactly.
you are right. Okay, absolutely, you are right. Okay.
NID copy.
Yes. Nationality. Exactly. What else? Just share. What else? I
And
know you
mother
all know, but the thing is, yeah. Okay. Okay. Father, mother's occupations. Yes, exactly.
yes.
Yep. Okay. You live information like mother's name, father's name. Of course, yeah. Male or
Female.
female. Exactly. Exactly. Married or not. Yes. Thank you so much.
Political
Family
views.
members. Yeah. Height,
Yes, political views.
religious, political views. Okay. Not much really. Religious one is but political views not. Date of birth is important. Height. I think height is one issue. Gender, extracurriculum is not irrelevant, very much relevant. Then blood group is because you are not joined for any organization that okay. Like hobby, no, hobby is important. Extracurricular is important. Hobby is important. Blood group, it's not necessary in the beginning. Mother's name is is irrelevant. Blood group, but blood type is also irrelevant. You don't need to. Religious identity is totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. Nationality, marital status, father, mother's names, exactly gender. Then your uh, did you miss what else?
Political
Height,
issue, political.
height, complexion, your skin
Yes.
complexion. Can you imagine that people actually? So I am sometimes I actually confuse whether you are submitting a resume for job interview or you are submitting the resume for your marriage proposal or something. So this is actually, and even the we don't need the permanent address, or the we need the communication address. The address you can communicate, even your which country, which area, like in the actually the address is, if you are applying for any local job, if I apply for any local job, you don't need to apply, you don't need to explain about your district name or your nationality, because obviously it will be you are the person who is actually, if the job is for only for the local people, so there is nothing you should worry about this thing. So local job, you don't need this. But if you are international, you are applying from somewhere, then you need only the address, like the communication address. Okay, and from that address you can discuss about your street name, your road name, or your house number, then your locality, and then the country you are from and the postal code. That is enough for, so you don't need to. So skills is obviously important thing. Can we add any of our certificate to the CV? Of course, you can add the certificate of the CV, anything. So I'm going there. So education qualification is very much relevant, but gender religious is not relevant. Is not relevant at all. So then hobby as interest, and it's important. It's not irrelevant. As I say, yes, thank you. As I say, the hobby is important. So we want that you share the, you can share the. There are many like age, marital, religious. Yes. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay. Mother side identity. All right. Okay. Siblings. Actually, I saw some people actually use their siblings. Okay. Phone number is important. Any social work is important. Of course, reference is also important. Is the father's NID? No need. Okay. Free speech skill. I don't know. I still don't have any CV. Very, very sad that you don't have any CV or resume. Okay, very sad. Is very okay. Okay, all right. Personal information should not be in the biodata, not in CV. Yes, should be in. Yep, exactly. Okay, family members, blood group. Okay, what do we have? Okay, I can see a lot. Thank you so much. Okay, so I need to just change my device. Can you just allow me? Can you just continue to ask the question, like what else they want to know, or what are the component in the CV? Can anyone just share what are actually the component you should be presented in your CV? Okay, can you just give me 5 or 10 minutes? 5 minutes, I think 5 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, you're mute. Unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining with us. Yes, we have been learning so much, and sometimes it happens that we get confused whether what to include or what not to include. So some of you have asked for the CVs, any CV demo, but unfortunately, we don't have any CV demo right now. What you can do, you can prepare it and again watch the live and can match up with these one, or officials, you can communicate with us later on so that we can check whether your CV is okay or not, what to include or what to not do. So another was, what is your whether to include the achievements or not. Your important achievements are another kind of experience or valuable component to be added in your CV. So go with that. Yes, let's have some questions. Okay, Zubair, how many hobbies should I put on the resume? So we are keeping these questions for sir. Anyone who wants to have some question regarding the CV and resume, please put your question here in the comment box. We will be answering very soon. Yes, Mohammad Sohail, again, we need some
Can
samples
you
of
just take a
CV and
note
resume.
also? Can you just take the note of the questions so that we can actually
Yes.
go back? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Arya Ruhi, yes, doing good. Thank you so much for joining. Aisha Begum Dolly, yes, thank you so much. Okay, signature. Fatimatu Zohra Tripti, yes, we will be answering very soon. Zubair Alam Iman, how many hobbies? Yes, I
Okay,
just read
irrelevant.
that.
Irrelevant is another thing is signature. Why you
Yes,
just you add the signature? It's really irrelevant. Irrelevant. Totally irrelevant.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's
Okay.
see.
Mm-hmm.
How many informations we need to put on a CV? Okay, please wait for
Mm-hmm.
the answer. Shall we add any first assessment? Yes, just wait for a little. Shamim, hi, Shamim. Ahmed Nusrat, hi, Nusrat, Pavel, Ovi. What about the date of birth? Wait, wow. So interesting questions are there. Thank you so much, everyone, for your beautiful questions. Please
Okay.
ask more questions so that everyone can learn more because your question is another learning for all of us.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Okay,
let
shall we go for the
let's.
questions?
Yep. We can take some
Okay.
question, but what about like let's we go with the component of the CV. What we should then we
Okay.
talk about the other things. I think thank you so much for your question, and you that's really great that you want to learn something. Okay, so should we submit our achievement certificate with that CV? But is the case that authority on check my CV more than 7? No, 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 no. It's just the first look. The first look is 7 seconds. So if they feel interest, they will take the time to read the other things. So when you do this, when you send the prepare the CV, you must submit the edition like this your certificate of achievement, which must be relevant, to your the job you are applying for. Sometimes you do have some other skill set or some other what you call like the other things, but um, you you bring top of the things like what are your achievements, because achievements actually value that is really not that you just attended a few programs and then you get 30-50 certificate. I also see that some of the participants or candidate, they just submitted the CV that how many number of seminar webinar they have attended. Actually these are actually less valuable. So guys, I'm going to share you the secret of getting the job. Okay, I know you all are busy, some of you are actually moving to another destination, you have some other dreams and now you are just moving. Please don't move, because I'm sure that the secret I'm going to share end of this program that will change your life, that will ensure your job employment, or at least you get a positive response from your employer for job interview. So don't leave, this is really important. And also I'm requesting you to just share. I'm sure that you are spending a good time here, and but the more you share the information, actually the more you can learn. So I always request everyone, just share the good words, share the information. The more you can share these things, actually that will help. So what are the components we need to put in a on a CV, a standard CV? That must have the name and contact information, the first bit of the top of the top. Just 1 minute, let me just grab one paper so that I can uh, actually give you the idea. um, okay, so I would like to know that whether they are actually sharing or not. Can you just check, like, okay, guys, can you just share this on your timeline so that you can actually help other people? Okay, so I'm just showing you a CV. No, it's a blank piece of paper. So the first thing actually on this here, never write the name. The first component is your name and contact information. Name, contact information, and the photographs. It goes side by side. Okay. So there, what you need to do, that when you are here, okay, in this part, you mention your name and contact details, nothing else. Okay, the contact details will be, if you want to add your postal address, that's good, with your phone number that must be active phone number, not the phone number of your mothers or grandmothers or fathers or grandfathers. Okay, and also an active email address. So if I like, recently, at least I see that many are changing their email address. The email should not be very funny stuff, like never ever do. You can think, oh, I'm look very funny if I present this email address. Okay, something like heartbreak kid or something. We found this kind of thing, so be careful about these things. So do not place anything that actually looks very funny. Okay, try to put a professional email address of your, it should be similar to your name or match with your name. Even Google suggests the things. Please don't go for suggestion. You try to combine the combination, okay, with your own numbers. Okay, sometimes we do, why you put this number, what this number means. Okay, sir, it just referred by the Google, so I thought like I'll just take, because you are so in rush that you don't want to spend time. And you can see that we are so busy, we don't want to learn, we don't have time to learn. Actually, we're just rushing. So end of the day, the loser, like, you will lose everything, not us. You will lose everything. So we are here to help you. So if you just give your attention. So the number one is you put your name here. I mean this side, the name, your contact details, your email address, and your phone number. Okay. Yes, you can add your date of birth, because sometimes the position you are applying for, that might need a mature person, not a fresh guy, not a young kid. Okay, so it's better you can just date of birth, and you just mention the date of birth. Okay, with your year. Sometimes these are the only personal information you need. So the number one is your name, the full name. Okay, number two is your postal address or the contract address, the one if we send any interview letter, interview card, or appointment letter, you have to use the same. So this should be it's not just post box number. Okay, and then your email address, and then finally your phone number, and you can also add only your date of birth. Okay, so that we can just have the understanding what age you are actually, or the position you are asking for sometimes. But it is not mandatory that you have to address your date of birth. I'm just saying that sometimes it needed based on the position you are applying for. Okay, so for me it was happened because I have to mention the date, because I have started my career very early, so I was very young to apply for the senior position. So I actually mentioned my date of birth, so that they should not be confused with me with my achievements and other things. So sometimes, but it's not mandatory. Now come to the, like, never ever write resume of Mr. XYZ. Okay, never do these things, please. So this is actually really horrifying, like CV or resume of Mr. Bari. No, just Mr. Bari, then my postal address, then my email address or the phone number, then email address. That's it. And if you want to present your age, you can just use this is not mandatory. So now the picture should looks a professional one, not the selfie one. Sometimes we found the selfie, you just take a selfie and you just think that, okay, this selfie is very good, let's put it. No, it should not be selfie. It should be from any professional. I mean, not professional, I think the photo, like any photo, any shop who takes the photo, not Photoshop, any shop that takes actually the photographs. Okay, so from there you can spend like sometimes you can spend 100 or 200 bucks, and then you have the good number of, take few things and check which one is, but keep this thing, remember, use your smile. Okay, must have the smile. Now here some issues are there. Okay, if you use a scarf in different Muslim country, if you use the scarf or anything, you use the cap or anything, you use the wig, like I don't have any hair, so sometimes I might think let's have a wig, let's look young and just go for it. So whatever get up I will take, the picture should be same. Okay, it should not be different. Okay, we found so many things like you have given a picture without any scarf, but when you come you are having the scarf. Okay, that actually confusing. So if you're using the scarf, you give the recent picture. That's why we always say recent photographs, send you recent photographs. Okay, so if you are baldhead like me, don't just give a picture, and if you are baldhead, just don't give a picture of your young life when you have bulk of hair or you have plenty of hair. No, don't. So be careful about these things. So the picture must be very recent. It should not be different. Like when we see that, and this picture should be very similar. Now, in some countries, you don't need to present the picture. Photograph is not essential. Photograph is not essential. So you have to think what you're going to do. If you think that you it present your personality, because the photograph is not only for photographs that I need a photograph. No, photographs, when I see the, as a like 7 seconds, we have only 7 seconds to make the decision. So if your photographs is like appealing to us, I mean, remember one thing, wherever you go, wherever you apply for, always people to see you first, and then they will judge your qualification. So that the first they will see the CV. So if you want to add photographs, carefully add a photographs that actually looks appealing to the employer, that okay, this is the guy, very funny, or it's look very confident, and he seems like very smiling face. We're looking for this kind of guy. So this is what it should be. Okay, don't like just I found like you are dressed up with so many funny things. I cannot explain, but I'm telling you this is happening. And in this digital area, you should not print. You have to add the photographs of the soft version, not the printed one. Should not print and then staple. Never. This is totally backdated now. Once it was really qualified, but nowadays you should not do this. You should not do this, like print a photograph and then staple it on your forehead. Staple on your forehead. You know, you can see that you staple on your forehead. Don't never ever do these things. Okay, now go back to the second part of the CV. The second part of the CV is this is very important. This is really important. The second part is your objectives or career objectives or personal statements. Okay, here we make a huge mistake. Okay, huge mistake, your personal statement. Okay, what kind of mistake? So let me just define this very clearly. Let me just, this is, see, just one fourth of the page, will go for your maximum 1/4 of, but a little, because you must have a formatting. Formatting is 1 inches, 1 inches, 1 inches, 1 inches. So everywhere, all is in a A4 page, you must maintain a 1 inches top margin, 1 inches left margin, 1 inches right margins, 1 inches bottom margin. Okay, so use this 1/4 of the page, 1/4 of the page for your personal information and photographs, not more than that. Okay, not more than that. Then the second part of the or maybe less than second part, like it should be not more than half of the, like the second half portion of the second part, you must write down. You can write down 3 things. Okay, the first one, I will prefer personal statement. Okay, I will prefer this personal statement, that you do the personal statement. What is personal statement? Personal statement, that who you are actually, who you are, and what you actually what you can contribute to our organization. This is what I really want to see, rather than just your career objective. So most of the time, most of the people just write down career objective. So career objective is something like what you want to achieve in your life. This is your career objective. So as an employer, I don't much care about your career objective. I need my like the if I recruit someone, how this person actually contribute to my organization, what kind of person I'm going to recruit. Okay, so I want to know more about you, not your and most of the time you give the same copy paste career objective. I want to my career objective to work in a challenging environment and this and that, and then I want to do everything. But actually we know this is not the right thing, because you copy paste, because these are the words we've been listening, or we've been viewing this thing for 10 to 15 years, that you all are want to work in a challenging environment, all want to shine their give their best to the organization, and then make their career successful. So this is not the organization wants. Okay, so remember this thing. So career objective, careful about career objective. Try not to put the career objective, rather put the objective or personal statement. The personal statement is what you are, what you want, what actually you are. Just write, be honest and write down about yourself, what you are, what kind of people you are. It's challenging. I know it's challenging, because we don't want to spend time on knowing ourselves. You know, we don't want to spend time on knowing ourselves. We just want to what we call, like, we want that something like just a vague thing we present to the employer, that I want to this and that. And if I in the interview, but when you write down that I want to work in a challenging environment, what do you have any idea what is called challenging environment? Come to my office, I'll show you what is the challenging environment is. So you have, and then you will start crying. So never write down that I want to work in a challenging environment. The challenging environment is now. So you can describe, I want to like, you write what you actually looking for. Write down in a piece of paper in your own language first, and then transfer to the English. Unfortunately, you cannot do it like the CV or resume you have to present in English. So first, I would request you to write down on your own language what you are, genuinely what you are. Okay, and just write at least 5 to 10 sentences in your own language, and then translate to English, and then try to well present it. So that if I stay like 7 seconds, if I read this thing, because that's the first thing we actually look for. Like, of course, when you take the within a 1 second, you can see the get up. Okay, if it is in an expert hand, so we know what you have, what you are just actually writing. And then the second thing we actually want from you all, that is your personal statement. Why I recruit you. So this is very important part. So try to write down the personal statement or the objective. Objective is why you are submitting this CV. Okay, it's not your career objective. It's why you apply for this position, why you wants to work with us. So it should be very much specific, related with the job description or the advert. So in the personal statement, even if you don't see the advert for any reason, but I'm again requesting you all, don't apply if you don't read this advert by yourself. Okay, do not give your friends to send the CV to the person. Never do this. Okay, so always remember this thing, that you read the advertisement and then you design the personal statement accordingly to the advertisement, what they are looking for. Okay, if they're looking for someone challenging, okay, if they're looking for someone is a team worker, if they're looking for someone is hardworking, ethical standard, and other things. So this is important. And when I talk about the ethical standard, I'm just giving you one simple example, that sometimes, I see so many students are not attending their class on time, and they have bring all the excuses that I have this problem, I have that problem, and this is the thing. So what actually I'm a little bit uncomfortable with this. I'm wearing a jacket on a t-shirt, so I'm a little bit like I'm feeling really uncomfortable anyway, but I have to carry on this show. So what we are actually see that you're not actually following your ethical standard. So in a corporate world, if you are not, from a student life, you are not being able to attend anything on time. You will not be able to visit your office on time, okay? Because it's in your habit. It develop a habit, and maybe for few weeks you do this properly, and afterwards you just start doing this thing. You are coming late and you bring the excuses that sorry, I have this problem, sorry, I have that problem, something like that. So be honest in your every work, when you are a student or anything you are doing. So be honest. Otherwise in your career you will be suffered. Trust me, it happens. Trust me, it happens. So careful about these things. Okay, so write down your statement. Now the third point is very important: your skill set. What actually really you have the skill set, what kind of skill set you have. Okay, your core skill. Okay, so you must state, and in a point, like write down 3 or 4, this side altogether 8 skill, which is actually you can provide the evidence that you are able to present them when they ask you, okay, you have mentioned you have this skill set. Can you give me an example of how you define this skill set, that you have this thing? So careful about this thing, that if you write any sort of skill set, you have to have the evidence of that I am good in that, I am good at that. So where you get this evidence? This is where the extracurricular or co-curricular activities actually back you up. The experience, which is very important. Like when we talk about the experience, most of the time people say the job experience. I'm not talking about the job experience. Okay, if you are fresh, you say I don't have any experience. So how you pass all those years without any experience? Don't you have any experience? Don't you experience anything? Like you are blind, you don't have experience anything, you don't attend anything, any kind of events, any kind of activities you've been involved. If you are not, then you must think yourself, you must ask yourself, why didn't I attend these things? Because when we talk about the co-curricular activities or extracurricular activities, that means that's the opportunity you have to develop your skill set. So during the academic years or during your whatever you're having the time, you are not experienced. You try not to learn something, or you try not to experience the things. Okay, so that's why you have lack of experience, and that is the one thing you actually remove from the competition. So whenever you have the things, you must write down what sort of experience you have. It should not only be your job experience. If you have no job experience, that's okay, no problem with that, but you definitely have some sort of experience. So bring those experience and write down those things. Okay, now number 5 already done. That 6 is training and development. What you have done so far, what kind of training you have done. Okay, and then I say that be specific. You must not just say time management, CV writing, leadership, blah 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 blah. No, you must write from which organization, in which date you have attended this training, or you have attended this. So it should be very specific, informative. Okay, but I don't want you to write down essay type, right? I don't want to. See, you can see that in the CV, still we are not talking about the academic part yet. Academic part, because you have only 2 pages to present, right? So if you just if you say I have no information, yes, you have no information, then you have to do it. It's your bad luck that you don't spend time to gather experience, so that you can put something on your CV, right? Even don't think that it's over. I cannot know. You still is not over. You can involve with anything. You can involve. We have in WASDA, we have the Youth Development Program. We also have the Youth Network Program. So International Youth Summit is one network. We have more than 100,000 people are connected from 85 countries. So you can connect with us and you can be a part of this program, and you can develop some sort of experience. So this is very important thing. Okay. So as I said, the training and development, the next bit is training. So write down all the trainings you have done. It should be significant, as well as whatever the training you think. Mostly, I think most of the training are significant. Okay. Even it's a photographic training, it's a graphics design or anything, or it's web design or anything, or call center operation, back office operation, any sort of training, you can write down here. Okay, all the training you should list up here. And then after that, you can do, after the training, you have to write down the number 7 is hours. What are the hours you have? Okay,
Yeah.
so awards mean like you might be, you receive a scholarship, you write down a scholarship, you might get some achievement awards, or so all sorts of awards, or you are very good in this sports or that activities, whatever awards you have, list up the awards. Okay, after that, number 8 is co-curricular activities or extracurricular activities. What are the co-curricular activities and what are the extracurricular activities? I think it's 8 and 9, I can rather say. That number 8 is like co-curricular activity. That is when you are a student, what kind of co-curricular activities you have attended within the, or within your campus, within your institution, academic institution. These are called co-curricular activities. Some say like debate or extempore speech, drama,
Yeah.
Science club, social studies club, natural clubs. There's so many clubs actually now. In most of the institution have lots of clubs. So if you are not being part of any of these activities, it is your failure that you are not part of this, and that actually remove you from the competition. We
Yeah.
just remove you. Okay, you have nothing. So you are just only bookish person. We don't need the bookish person. We need a person who actually be involved with so many other things. Okay, now number 9 is co-curricular activities. Sorry, extracurricular activities, which is during your academic year or anywhere, anytime, even currently, you are involved with some extracurricular. That means these are not part of your academic program, but you are involved with other things, some social clubs, some international, even involving with the International Youth Network is very, it could be extracurricular activities or something, so many things. Or you have involved, not you just a member of this, what you have done with them. Have you attended any summit? Have you attended any conference? Have you attended any youth exchange program? Have you attended? So these are things are very important. Not just only put that I was a member of this club, and then what? You've been a member of this club, then what? What is your achievement? What is your accomplishment? What is your skill set? All right, what you have done for other people, what you have done for yourself. If you don't present this, then it will be a problem. Okay, now come back to the last bit, almost last bit, that is your academic background. You see, now number 10, I just mentioned you there. So in a professional CV, you don't need to mention about what you have, unless it is very like lucrative. You have done GPA, blah, 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 and then you have done, unless it is very lucrative, something, reduce that part and do not put in a tabular format. Do not put in a tabular format. Write in a running essay type that the last degree will come first. Always chronology. Maintain the chronology for every sector. Experience, the last experience, the last achievement, the last curricular activities, the last extracurricular activities. That will come first, and then goes on. This goes on. So the recent one will come first. So the last academic degree you have achieved, that you need to mention on the top, and then gradually go. And it should not be, each things must be within 1 line or maximum 2 lines. That's mean Bachelor of Business Administration or Master of Business Administration, Dhaka University, year, and your CGPA or your result. If your result is not up to the mark or not, you want to, you can leave the result. You don't need to. Okay. So just very precise and short. You have to be very precise and short. When you done your honors and masters, you don't need to go, if there are no space, you don't need to mention about your SSC and HSC, which is completely irrelevant, unless you have very significant results, something to show to the employer that you are actually a very brilliant student. But to be honest, we are not looking for a brilliant student. We are looking for brilliant worker, okay, who have skill set. Okay, so remember these things. These are very important. As I said, this is very, very important. Okay, now after that, you mentioned about your scholarship and hours. Achievements goes up, but the scholarship and hours, you can put it down, and then scholarship and hours, and then achievement and reward, hours and rewards. Okay, so these are some things. Sometimes some people are actually confused. a scholarship that some sort of like you've been given to you. It's given to you for your excellence. Okay, the awards and scholarship. Achievements is you work hard with something, and then you achieve the goal, and you achieve your success, and then you've been rewarded from them. So the thing is just let me just give one thing. 1 minute. I'm just showing you something, right? Okay. I should prepare everything so that I can just for okay.
Yes, we are here, sir.
Okay, so the idea is like now I'm holding something is okay. So this is kind of like this is award, okay, or it's not reward. It's just like I've done something, or for my excellence they have given me these things, okay. And I have little bit far away some another award. Just a minute. Just allow me. Can you
Yes,
just
sir.
carry on? Let me show
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir. So many hours and rewards of sir, and if anyone visits our office, you can see so many certificates, hours, and everything else. So we just look at those and think, oh my goodness, when we are going to get those for all of us.
Okay, time flies very fast, right? So
Yes, sir.
sorry, I should prepare these things so that this is from the Bangladesh Navy, okay. So this is actually a reward, okay, that I work hard and then I receive this reward, okay, from Bangladesh Navy, okay. So this is kind of reward and this is kind of award, okay. So this is for my excellence. Just recently I received from the Dhaka University of Engineering and Technologies, DUET, and this is from the Bangladesh Navy. So this is actually I work there to train up the officers and the sailors. So this is kind of like reward to me, okay. And this is for that like I was work I went for my excellence and for my services and for my contribution and blah blah blah. They have given me these things. So you have to understand this thing, the difference between the reward and award, okay. So it's something I have achieved that is I feel that is rewarding to me, and something was like someone is appreciating me for my work is award to me, something like that, like Emmy award, Emmy not reward, okay. So but it's almost similar because when you do both, then actually, or whatever you do, actually that actually brings all together, that will give you the thing. So how you define, that's up to you. So this is the thing. Number 13 and the last one is your hobbies. So our question came, how many hobbies we should put in our CV. So look, genuinely just put the hobbies you actually follow, the hobbies, not just you have so many hobbies. In our life I used to do like for gardening, stamp collection, coin collecting, view cut collecting, so many things, but nowadays I don't have those. So why should I put there? So whatever the job description, because if you think I should put some hobbies, but what kind of hobbies, it must goes with the job application, what kind of job you're applying for and what kind of things they're actually looking for. So you must not put something which is actually not relevant, okay. So hobbies, you should not, because we actually ask question about the hobbies, okay. So if you just put my hobbies stamp collection, my hobbies I'll just definitely, I will, if I'm there or many expert interviewer there, they will ask you, what is the oldest stamp you have in your collection? What is the oldest coin you have? Can you show me the picture of that? Can you show me that picture of your coin? Can you show me the picture of that stamp? Okay. So if you just say that I'm a stamp collector, I'm a coin collector, they have some specific names also. This profession, they have a specific name also. So careful about what you are saying, okay? Because, or what you're writing on your CV. The question will follow on that, okay? So the last bit, What is the last bit? Last bit, because I think that they are become so frustrated. They are now start leaving.
No, sir. Sir, I can see that there are lots of questions, and I have also written lots of questions to answer for
All
you.
right. Okay.
So many people are
Okay.
still with us.
All right. That's good. So, however, like the last bit, what to do, right?
Yeah.
The last bit is like 7 tips to ensure your job interview. Okay, the 7 tips I will ensure your job interview. So again, you can see, don't fold. I just mentioned you this. So this is the 1/4, this is another 1/4, this is another 1/4, this is another. So if you maintain the section, so you almost have like 8 to 10 section you have to, or 12 sections. So you have to compromise like how many section you can add, but it should be within the 2 page. Okay. Now come to the like what are the 7 top tips. It might be relevant with the CV, it might not relevant with the its overall things. The first one, when you write a CV, okay, never, when you're going to send the CV, including your papers, other papers, your supporting documents, your certificates, academic and non-academic certificates, your achievement certificates, and all the information, all the good information you have, all the achievements you have. Never ever fold them. Never fold them. Okay, must keep them straightforward. This is the one thing very important. Like, you must first, for a successful job interview, when you send it, must have a cover letter. Okay, must have a cover letter. Okay, don't forget about this cover letter. It is very important. Okay, most of the time we just send, we don't give time, we just send the CV. Must write a cover letter. Very basically, why do you get this information, from which paper, newspaper, or which media you have seen this information about this job interview, job opportunity. Mention that thing, and then you said that you mentioned about why they should recruit you, and ask them to please, I've attached my CV and other documents for you, blah blah blah, whatever you like. You just said, mention that don't write just blah blah blah. I'm just saying that you mentioned that here I have attached or enclosed my papers. I would be appreciate if you go through with this paper, and I'm sure that you find me a qualified candidate for this position. So something like that. You should be very confident about this thing. I always use one thing, that of course you have to strongly believe. Whenever I write always, but I don't want to share this secret. But things is, when once I share, everyone follow the same thing. So I always say that your tone should be very much confident. Okay, you should very much confidently write to the employer. Okay, job employer, like the interviewer, that why it is important that your CV is different than others. So it should be very confident tone with the action verb. You have to write it down. Okay. Number 2 is, all the papers should be like this, straight, no crease, like no bending. Never ever bend these things, like CV bend. Or sometimes you do CV in three part. You just, because the envelope size is 911, so you size them everything like this. Okay, and then put in an envelope and then send. This, never ever do this thing. This is really horrible. You see the bending of the CV. Actually, that actually you have lost the things. Number 2, never ever photocopy your CV. You might have a one master copy, and you always do the copy and send to other people, send to the number. Never do this. Every single time, we have a thumbs rule. We have a thumbs rule that's been, if you are applying for a job which is like 20K or 30K, spend 1% on your CV. This is the difference. This, you can. So you are applying for a job which is 30K, 50K, 20K, 15K, 10K, whatever. You need to spend 1% of the amount of the mentioned salary. If you know the positions, if there are no salary mentioned, you can assume what kind of job responsibility they are asking for, and with that job responsibility, what could be the average standard salary. Or if you are already an employed person, you know what you have earning, so spend your 1% on your CV for the next job. If you don't do this, you will not able to get a job. So that's mean the envelope you send, it should be different, it should be very there is, if you go to some special stationery shop, there in every country they sell specialized stationaries, like the paper, it should be 120 grams, not the 80 grams, 120 grams paper. Okay, so that when I touch your CV, oh, this is kind of different. Okay, the color could be not white, ivory color. Okay, so these are very tricky things if you want to get a good job. I know. And then you say like, why? If you want that job, if you want a higher level job, and if you want that the interviewer should ask you, so you think, how do I know, should I take sex? Yes, you can take sex only if you have enough qualification to apply for that job, and that job is genuinely match with your qualification. If it is not match your qualification, don't bluff this to the employer. Okay, then you'll be screwed. So spending. But when you think that what they are looking for and you have everything to offer them, okay, is the best match you have, then spend 1% of your money to design your or present your CV. So the envelope, it should be again a very, not the thin one, it should be very good one, high quality envelope should be excuse me, high quality envelope. Then the papers you should use 120 grams. Okay, then everything there, the CV, all the certificates, the cover letter, all must be A4, all must be in A4 size. Okay, there should not be like, you can see that sometimes we have certificates which are less than A4, sometimes we have certificates which is bigger than A4, sometimes we have mark sheet which is bigger than the A4 size, something you might have different size of. But you when you go to a copier machine company, go to a best quality copier machine who actually give a best quality copy. Okay, so scan it or print it very with high quality on a high quality paper, and then present it. Okay, don't staple this. Okay, use a very good quality pin. There's paper pin are there, very good quality, high quality paper pin. You can use this, but only it cost only maybe 5 local taka, local currency like Bangladesh. Almost the other countries also are very, very, very cheap, and so it's not that much. But you have to organize in that way. Okay, and in most of the paper you have to see that these are maintain a very good, like the shape and everything should be. So you can see that when you are asking for something extraordinary, you must present yourself extraordinary. So these are the few tips I have shared, and then the third or fourth tips I didn't follow because I have shared so many tips. Even let's talk about this is the fourth tips. Never courier these things to the employer. Okay, most of the do you understand? Can anyone just note yes, we understand or not in the comments box, please? Okay, never courier this your CV to your employer. Net problem, I'm not listening properly, I'm sorry for that. Whatever date of birth I already, okay. Okay, all right. Is there any comments? Okay. Someone is Roxana Roshan.
Roshan. Okay.
Okay, she's asking someone else how to write CV. So why you are attending this program? You have to write your own CV. You have to learn how to write your own CV. Okay, so are you clear about this thing? you should not, no, colorful. Oh, so many questions. We have to go to the
Yes, sir.
question. We must
Yes,
not, we must not spend time so that we can clear so many things. Okay, now,
yes, sir.
all right. So you must not courier when you have a very beautiful. If you live nearby, if you live nearby the organization, like if you live in the organization city and you live in the same city, you must go and drop your CV. When you go there, must well groom and go there. Okay, this is number 4 tips I'll suggest you. Never ever put unnecessary things, unnecessary, like to show you have a very good, like you have attended maybe 300 plus webinar, because last 2 years everything is done with the webinar, so many things are happened. So you must not just write down that I have attended this, because that actually challenges us to understand you, what you are for. Like you have so many varieties of things you have attended, but what actually your core skill set. So this is very important. So don't put too much information which are actually irrelevant. Then we said is vague. He just attended to achieve the certificate, he has learned nothing. Okay, so don't rush for anything, and it's always better to just follow one or two things, one or two what do you call, one or two organization, maybe best 3 organization you must attend or participate in 3 organization and work with them for a long time, rather than just jumping from one organization to another organization. I mean the co-curricular activities. For co-curricular activities or extracurricular activities, you must involve with maximum three organization. Okay, so let's stop here and go for the question, and then I'll share the rest of the three. Okay,
Yes.
so from where we should start?
Yes, sir. I have written some questions and lots of questions, so we have to go in a rush. Okay.
Rapid. I'll go for the rapid
Yes.
fire round. Yep.
There are difference between passion and hobby. Which one you prefer? We should prefer most to add in the CV.
You must like if, if you think that your passion, it will help you to get the job, or it will align with your job work or whatever work you are looking for, then you can add it. Okay, passion. But a hobby is something, again I said that hobby is something that what you love to do during the, because that will actually allow us to know about you. So the hobby is, if you're writing, like for me, trust me, I write down for me, not for everyone. Don't follow what I'm saying. Just if you think that is relevant for you, then you can think. I just write down that I love to dance. It's not that like the classical dance or something. I just write down that I love to dance and I love to cook. That's it. I love to cook and love to. So they ask me like, why you write these things? And like with the dance, I feel relaxed. I enjoy. I relieve my stress, and this is so. You see, this is the thing you have to.
Yeah.
Whenever you write something, we'll ask you the question. So if you write something that you want, you love to do it. So why you love to do it? We have asked. So if it is passion or if it is hobby, whatever you write down, we're going to ask you the question, and you have to mention why it is. It should be relevant. You should have something. It should be, I have passion, but I don't know why. I have hobbies, but I don't know why. Then it will not work. Okay, next.
Okay, this is from some junior section. I have done SSC and right now doing HSC. So whenever I am preparing any CV, I just have SSC or HSC result. Whether we can put this in our CV or not.
Yes, you can have the CV. You should not wait for your graduation to have your CV. You must. So when you are now doing your HSC, you must already have your CV, and just on the top academic qualification, you can write down that you are pursuing your higher secondary school certificate. So that's it. There is no problem. And when you move to the university, there's another things, like when I was young, I was a student of the school, but I have the visiting card. I have my own visiting card. So that actually create the difference. So if you have the CV, trust me, if you are HSC student, or you are now school level or college level, if you can have a CV, salute to you. Next.
The next one is self-assessment to be added or not.
What kind of assessment?
Self-assessment.
No. Yeah, exactly. That I'm
That
saying
one
that.
you remember?
Yeah.
You remember?
Yes. Never ever do this thing. Like, who assessed you? Like you write down that I saw in some CV format you have, because you copy paste from other, that your English proficiency is 1 to 5. You just write down the graph. It's a graph, so you
Yeah.
just write down 3 4 something. Don't do this. Don't assess yourself, because that is in some foreign country, or some developed country, they have some recruiter, actually professional recruiter, who actually take the previous who actually take the interview, and then they actually give the assessment. Okay, this
Yeah.
guy has this quality, and then they mark it for their, or they put on the CV. But they mention that on basis of what, there's so many testing, there's some what we call like test there. So based on that test, they do this assessment thing. So never use this thing unless you attend any test. So don't do this. Okay,
Okay.
next.
Thank you, sir. Professional training to be added or not?
Of course, all sort of training should be added. All should, as I said, the training are actually the how many trainings actually, and but the thing is, all training should be very much relevant to the position you are applying for. Must not just, you might have 100 trainings, but they all are not relevant to the job position you are applying for. So find out what are the relevant job, or what are the top 5 or 10 training you have done. As I said, if you write down you have done 100 trainings, I would say that is too much. It's too much. So you actually being rejected, rather than you just bring top 5 or top 10, top 5, not 10, top 5 training program that you have attended, which is very much relevant to that position you are applying for. Next.
Shall we make it colorful or not?
No way, no way, no way. Never ever ever never ever 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 do these things. Color, no, never. Just kill me, man. Never. I found this thing recently because you see so many things, so many template. So you thought like, okay, let me go for it. Let me print it in a color way. It will be very lucrative to the, or you know, sometimes people submit those kind of thing, they get the opportunity, but it's not for their colorful, it's not for the colorful or format. It's just like, I need to recruit some people, that's why I recruit those people. Not that you have to follow the color. If they need the color, they will mention, please send us a colorful picture of you with a colorful CV, then you send them, okay, or resume. Okay, whenever I say CV, please remind it is actually resume. Okay.
Okay, this is for IT sector people. For the IT sector, they need to show their project details. So whether
Yep.
they should add or not.
No, they should have. They should mention what sort of things they have done, very in a short form, and then they mention the Google Drive or some sort of things where they can actually look for it. You. If I go there, I can find out that's about this information. So you cannot just involve everything there. It should not be too much long. Okay, you can write up to 10 sentences about the project you have, what the project is all about, what language you use, what background, what sort of things it will project, like how it's appreciated by other people, is there any award received from this project or not, something like that. It should not be more. And then if the project is live, if there any website or anything, if I go and click that link, I can say about this thing, then you mention about this link, not more than that.
Okay.
So many
Next
beautiful
one.
questions. Thank you so much. It's really helpful. Really helpful. Yes, carry on.
Can we add ID card of previous work for
No need.
applying somewhere else?
No
Okay.
need. No need.
Okay. The next question is, when applying for scholarship, do we need to submit a CV or resume?
I will rather ask you to submit like, if you have plenty of information, then go for the CV. Like it will go as a CV format, because scholarship is kind of like academic things. You can go for it. Resume is only for job application. So when you apply for the scholarship, you must go for CV. That's mean you have to define, you have to detail in detail, you have to mention about your SSC, HSC, not the tabular format. Like you have done SSC. From there, what you have learned? What is your core learning? Then you have done the HSC. What is your core learning? If I ask you, you have done your HSC, what is your core learning? I know you cannot say things. So think about that. What you have actually, this is called education. This is called education, not the CGPA, not the things. So you can mention that during these 2 years of my HSC high school, secondary, I have learned this skill set. That actually make the difference, not the CGPA, not the subject you have studied, the things what you have learned. Then this is called education, not the CV. Okay, clear? Okay. So in
Yes, sir.
same thing
Thank
in
you,
masters, same thing in masters, same thing in honors, everything. So what you have learned, not the subject, not the subject, what core education you have gained, then you get the scholarship. So getting a scholarship, you have to write the CV accordingly so that people will get when they read the things, they will, okay, this he or she has studied in physics, but what they have learned, what he or she has learned, that is very important. Okay, next.
Where our key competencies should highlighted.
On the after the personal statement.
Okay.
After
Should
the
I
personal
add?
statement, you have to in not more than 8 or maybe maximum 10, not more than 10, because it's the core competent. Because we are saying you might have other competent. Like
Yeah.
if you say that I'm a good leadership, definitely you must have the time management. Definitely you
Yeah.
must have the decision making, problem solving. A lot of things it will come.
Yes.
So when you say leadership, okay,
Yes, sir.
so you don't need to mention that I have leadership, I have time management, I have problem solving, I have decision making, I have critical thinking, I have this and that. You don't need to write all those things. So core competence means what you, and problem solving is a core thing. So rather than write down just I have the leadership things, you can write down that I can lead a team. I have the capacity or capable to lead a team. Then you can write. So you in leadership is one word. You can define at least 20 to 30 skill set will go. If you don't have 20 to 30 skill set, a strong skill, you can't be a leader. Okay, next.
Should I add an e-portfolio if I have one?
Yes, of course. If you have a e-portfolio, just give the link. Give the link, and they can read. Okay, they can read and they can enjoy it. Okay.
Can we add publications or research details?
If you in the CV, you must add this one. In your job application, like again, academic job, you can use the CV, but and there you can mention about these things. Okay, but for the job, if it is vital, if you think that this is the one thing I must share, like you have done a survey on the consumer behavior, on anything consumer behavior, and you are applying for a job in marketing sector or sales sector. So there you can, like during my 4th year study or during my 8th semester, I have done a paper or assignment on consumer behavior or this product on that product, and then we have find this result of that can be relevant to the position you are applying for. So you have to add it when it is relevant to your job application. But if it is an academic position you are applying for, that you want to be a teacher or the faculty member, then you can apply that all the academic paper you have done or something. All these things you can add. Yeah.
How logical would it be to provide reference information?
Reference, I'd rather say do not put a reference on the first, because reference will take almost 1/4 of your things. So must not mention the must not mention about the reference. Just you can write down can be provided upon request. Okay. Can I have just only 30-second break? A 30-second break. We can have a 30
Yes,
second.
sir.
What we can have? Can you just play a video? Can play a
Yes.
tomorrow's your video for
Yes, sir.
a few seconds?
Everybody get
a butterfly, sting like a bee. King Kong got nothing on me. When your back's against the wall, better fight back. Yeah, we ready to brawl, we wanna fight back. You gotta think inside, yeah, fight back.
Boom, chaka chaka. Yes, we are back here again. Okay, the next question is, sir, how many pages you would prefer? We would prefer for the freshers and for the experienced.
Okay, the next question, please.
How many pages we would should be there regarding the freshers and the experienced?
Whatever the fresher or your experience for the job application, you must not cross 2 pages. Okay, so if you are a fresher, most of the times, as I said, that you said I don't have any experience. Okay, so this is what the challenge is. You know, if you don't have experience, you will not get the job. Okay, so you have to wait. But if you have you definitely have to have involved with so many extracurricular activities, so many co-curricular activities, that you have some sort of experience that you can actually put. So you can, as a fresher, you should not cross 1 pages, but it should not be just full with your academic information only.
Yeah. So I'd like to thank everyone. Yes, lots of questions to read yet, but thank you so much for these beautiful questions. And this have been made it possible to learn a lot. Would you please give a format, sir?
Exactly. So the format is, again, there is several formats. If you browse the internet, you will find several formats. Okay. The only thing you have to remember, whatever formats you used, try to add the 13 point we have mentioned. 13 things must be there as much as possible. Okay, but you have to fit in 2 pages. So whatever format you use, doesn't matter. But I will rather say, do not go for a colorful formats. Go for a in between, like, do not go like too much colorful, too much things that are, there's so many dummy format. I don't like those kind of dummy formats. Okay, so rather than you just go for a simple, like it's a simple format, very simple format, but all the content should be there. Let me just let me browse one for you all. CV, right? Just okay. I think there's something. There's a more question, right?
Yes, sir. Should I need to write every single things in details, like maybe in 3 or 4 lines or something like this?
No. Not everything you should emphasize on the things that actually relevant to the position you are applying for. Okay, so let me just go with something, right? I'm not how to do this on the full screen. So let me share the screen so that you can see.
Yes,
but unfortunately,
sir.
I can't see. Sorry. Okay.
Not yet
just
here.
to give you some idea. Okay, okay. So I'm showing some format. I will. You can use any of this format, but the one I'm now showing is not at all a good format. Not at all a good format. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, see this one. The cursor. Can you see this one?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
sir. We can.
This
see.
one. Look, this is a picture, and back on the picture, there's another person.
Yes.
Can you see? I'm not sure. Let me zoom.
Yes.
Zoom it, right?
I can see. I hope everyone can see. Can you please comment
This
whether
one.
you can see?
This one. So you can see that, yeah, this is not at all a good thing.
You can see.
There's a background. There's another people is actually. So if you see this, because when you Google it, it will come here, right? So
Yeah.
These are not a good template. These are not good template. These are not good template. These are not good template. But you can see these are, you think these are very good, but these are not good template at all. Okay, if you now stop here, this is one very simple. You see, very simple. Sorry, I cannot, I should not go. How to do it? I don't know. Escape and go back. Okay. Anyway. All right. So did you see the colorful one I show you? These are not good format. But you browse it, you'll see so many things, and you think these are very good. Actually, these are not good format. Trust me, these are not good. The one I show is very simple one, black and white. Black and white. You can put in the middle, you can put your name and then address, contact address, and on the left, on the right side, you just put a photographs of you. Okay. What else? Yep. Question.
So
Any more
most of the
questions?
questions are regarding the pages. How many pages? How many pages?
Okay.
And
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. After this session, we have been here for more than long time. Okay. So
yes, sir.
okay. Why should we submit the
Sir.
evidence in our CV? The evidence is you have to write down from where you have learned this skill. What helps you to learn this skill? So the evidence comes like that you have done this assignment or you have done this event. From there, you have learned how to work with the people. Okay, you have done this event from there you have learned how important is to remain on time or being present on time is important. Okay, you have done this event or done this project and you have learned how to lead a team. Okay, so you have to be very specific with the evidence that how actually you have when you have learned this thing, how we have learned these things, something like that. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Another question is regarding the announcement of the authenticity with signature. Whether we need this authenticity,
No.
I declare myself this
Absolutely,
declaration.
yeah, it's a I don't know from where they have found this rubbish thing. I'll just rubbish like some some sort of it's a rubbish thing. I don't know. It's just a rubbish thing. It's just completely a rubbish thing. It's just a completely rubbish thing. I don't know why they get these things, this idea, and why they are using these things. Okay, so
Also
it's kind of like.
What about the cups and reward
Exactly. Why you use the icons? Why you use the icons? What's the meaning of that? Again, these actually looks like you are a very childish thing. You are still in play with the child. You like to have the star. You like to have the cups. You like to have the. So you know that when you are in the kindergarten or the under 5, like the kindy or the junior school, the teacher put the star mark, and you see, come to your mommy, I got the star. Look at this star. Look at the cup. I got the star cup for my teachers. It looks like you are still holding the childish things. Okay, sorry. I'm just sharing this because these are very important things. Okay. So is there any more?
Yes,
anything?
sir. Lots of questions. Yes. Is doing
Okay.
box in educational qualification and work experience necessary?
So say again.
Is doing box for educational qualification and work experience, are those necessary?
Can you pop up the question? I'm not
Yes.
just a little bit confused about these things. Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
Is doing box in. Okay, that's mean the tabular format. No,
Yeah.
never ever do this thing. Do not do the tabular. That's we call tabular format. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Write down the essay type. Write down the essay type. Like you work as a marketing executive. Then which organization? From which date to what is your key responsibility? Okay, what was the key responsibility? Shall we highlight our strength and weakness in CV? Weakness we don't need to. Why weakness is only been if you've been asked by someone, then if you place the weakness on your CV, people will not going to. It's not, you don't need to. You can show that you can say, you can share about this is my honesty, I'm sharing my weakness, but you know that job market is very like vulnerable,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
very challenging. So you cannot just say that I'm doing this or I'm just it will not help. Okay, next.
Sir, which kind of font is applicable for CV
Of
writing?
any font, any whatever the font it should not be script. It should not be any graphical like designing things. It should be very basic one. The Times New Roman, Arial, Calibri, Century Gothic. These are very simple font. But all through should be one font, not even two font. Like your headlines are one font, you're inside this another font. Never use these things. Always use one font, but might be different size. The headline should be one font bigger than the body, or sometimes it's best to have everything in 10 points. 10 points. Keep the points in 10, and then you can do like 10 points, and then highlights the headlines, underline the headlines, and then rest the body be simple regular font.
Okay. The next question is how important is the layout of CV?
Of course, the most important thing. If you don't have the layout, proper layout, then it will be you cannot things you cannot actually able to you cannot attract the employer.
Yes.
Okay.
My hobby is watching and I'm reading web novels and gaming. Is it necessary in CV?
Not necessary. If you want to present, you can present. If you don't want to, if you want to avoid the hobby, you can avoid the hobby. No problem with that. But the only problem is how do I know that what kind of hobbies you are? If your hobby is matching with my hobbies, then it actually help you out.
Yeah.
Okay. So something like you watch you read web novel. What kind of web novel you read? Okay. It is a romantic one. It is a climax one. It is a detective one. Something. If you feel that's okay, but at least I know that you read these things. Okay, maybe I read a published book, a hardcover book, so we can be related. I can ask you what kind of web. So this is very important that you might put some information about the hobbies, but if not, it will not harmful, but sometimes it actually helpful. Not harmful, but helpful.
Can I use different color in the CV headline?
No way, no color, please. Please, I'm begging you, do not do this, please. 10 to 15 years I'm doing, like I don't do that CV or interviews training anymore. Okay, I'm mostly I do now a different kind of leadership training and other things, but I have to come back. Why you are using the color things? Okay, you can see that generation change, now we have the new centuries begin, everything, but please don't use the color. Black and white is the royalty. Black and white is the smartness, not the pudding color is the smartness. Black and white, some things, these are called classic. These you have to be very classic and like aristocrat and classic. The aristocrat and classic is black and white, not the colorful one. The colorful one looks cheap. Trust me, colorful one is cheap because you are showing, you are just want to show off. But the classic way you can present your CV, and it must be printed one, not the photocopy one. Never ever, always laser print the CV and submit to us. Never at the signature. Never ever at the signature.
Okay.
Yes.
If the recruiter asks for the references, what kind of reference we should use? Universities?
No. Just one thing. Okay. So if the recruiter asks, like in their advertisement, mention 2 reference. Okay. And if you have a space, okay, then you mention the reference. Otherwise, you don't need to mention the reference. As a fresh graduate, you have to mention at least one from the university, and not the chairman, sir, or not the department head. The person actually knows you very well. The faculty member, any faculty member knows you very well. And another one is non-academic one. It could be any organization, anywhere you have worked as a volunteer. Unfortunately, many of you don't work volunteer, and then you have no opportunity. But you know that at this moment, I think more than 500 people actually working with us as a volunteer. And I'm happy to give them the recommendation if they have spent a certain amount of time. So it is very important that one is from the academic, one is from the non-academic, or where you are actually volunteering. So when I write down someone that he or she has been working with us for 1 year, that means a lot. That really means a lot. Next.
Sir, lots of questions. I
I
just
know you're very, very much right.
I
I'll
just
just take five more questions. Okay.
Sir, I have just counted 98 questions altogether regarding the pages of CV. How many pages too? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any more,
What
or
about
you want to finish?
the date of birth? Whether
So
we should add date of birth in our information or not?
I say
Again,
that if you can add it, you can add it. No harm, might helpful. No harm, might helpful. And unless the employer asks you, okay. If the employer asks, must you have to submit. Okay. Next, quickly.
shall we
What?
add our address in the first information, or we
Yes.
should add the information later on?
No information in the later one. You must not add anything later on. The personal information is only few things: your name, your postal address or contract address, then your email ID and your phone number and date of birth. These are five things. These are the five things should be your personal information. Not more than that. You should not give your national ID. I'm. It's very funny that I found so many people are giving their passport number, national ID. These are very sensitive information. You should not disclose your sensitive information everywhere. You should not give your national ID card, passport ID number to anywhere. It should not be unless your employer asks for, and it's usually no employer will ask you to give your national ID number or passport number. Okay. Next.
How to add the gender option? By
You
ticking
should
or
okay in your name. Okay, now in an international job or sometimes from your name we might not be able to understand your gender. Okay, so write down your name like Mr. Ahmed Bari. Okay, or not Mr. Ahmed Bari, Ahmed Bari. Within the bracket I can write down Mr. That's mean I'm a male. That's, or you can write down Miss, not MISS. That's mean under 18 or within the 18. And another is like MRS. And whether you married or not married, okay, unmarried or single, whatever, you always use the MS, not MRS. Okay, always use the MS. All right, so that will define that this you are a female person. And which name you prefer? If you prefer that, for me, like if I want the employer should call me like Ahmed, then I will everything Ahmed will be all cap or underlined. All cap or underlined. These are for the international rules. These are international rules. You either Ahmed will be all should be upper cases or underlined, so that the employer will understand that I prefer them to call me Ahmed, or
Yeah.
I prefer them to call me Bari. So whatever, and within the bracket, I can mention if I give my photographs, then I should not never ever use my gender. If I give my photographs, and if the photographs clearly mention that my gender is male or female, I should not disclose. Okay, next. Last
if
one.
we don't have any reward or award, what to do?
Say again.
If we don't have any reward or award, what to do?
Cry that you don't have any. Just cry. Okay, just cry that you don't have any reward and award. So it is very challenging. Trust me, it is very challenging that you don't have any rewards or awards, and it is very challenging that you don't do anything that actually show that you have some rewards or award. So I would rather ask you to just start from today. Please do start from today. The more you involve with some sort of social activities, you can have some sort of award. So try for it, go for it. You can achieve it. Okay, even though you have completed your graduation or post graduation, you can still, you have the opportunity. Try to have something. Okay, I think that's okay.
Sir, another question. Address should be present or permanent?
Address should be contract address, where I can find you, where I send this. If I send you the appointment letter or interview card, you will get it. Okay, it should be it permanent, present, doesn't matter. It's contract address where you can get this information. So never think of that whether it should be your permanent address or it should be your present address, something like that. Okay.
What is the most important component of a CV?
The 13 component we have mentioned, these are all important.
Sir, I'm stuck in the questions. Lots of questions.
Okay.
How can we check on our CV later on?
Say again.
How can we check our CV according to your instructions later on?
How come?
Sir, they actually want to check
Can you pop
their
up?
CV.
Can you pop up the question?
Sir, I just lost in
Anyway.
the middle of lots of questions.
Okay.
They want
Just forget
us
it.
to check their CV. They want us to check their CV. How can they
No,
share?
I
with
don't.
us?
I actually referred, like, look, this is kind of like professional service. Like some people take 1,000 taka or 1,000 local currency for. We don't have the time to check. I'm here to give you the support online, so that I can cover 100 or 200 people at a time. Okay, or maybe that if you share this video, maybe 1,000 of people, other people will get the benefit. But it's not actually able. Our time is so precious. Like we are not here to, like, you can see that almost 2 hours I'm actually spending
Already
after the
900
whole day office. After the whole day
questions.
office, we came here. Then we are actually spending the time only for your betterment. So what you need to do, you have to design, you have to, this error, you'll do the error and you can come. So the more the structure we have shared you, I think if you follow this thing, you can easily design a good CV. So you don't need to send the CV to us anymore. And I will also ask you to just be yourself, present a CV which is really look genuine, and you have designed the CV. It's not that someone else put the content on you on this. So that's why I'm not giving you any format, but the simplest format is the best. No color format, no color highlights, nothing. It should be very simple. Okay.
What would be the best, handwritten or Microsoft Word?
Who says handwriting in this 21st century?
Mushfiqur
Come
Rahman.
on. You should not even think. Why should you have this handwriting CV? Who says even the CV is written handwritten? Who? Come on, man. Okay, no problem. Always, all the question are welcome. Thank you so much for asking the question. Okay, so someone asked whether I put the CV photographs on the CV or resume. Of course, you have to put the CV on, but it should be digitally printed, digital one, the soft one, and you put on the CV. Okay, not the printed one. Okay, next. I think we have done a lot, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
About how to represent my project work in the CV sector. As I say that maybe we add, or maybe said if you've done any project work, or you have to mention that during my study in this year I have done this project, then project name, and then from this project we have surveyed this thing, or we have learned this thing. So you can add like this. So customize and like, don't think that any format is standard. That's why I'm not going to show you any format. You have to design your own, and whatever things, if you maintain only this 13 component and put it in at least 2 pages, you can fit in the 2 pages. Or if you have too much information, if you miss that, you can go for 3 pages. But
Yeah.
every information should be relevant. You should not just go and print a 3 pages CV so that you can impress the employer. It will not work. So work on yourself, work on the CV, spend time on CV, and you will get a very good CV. Trust me, you'll get a very good CV. So with that thing, I think we can wrap up today's session. Thank you so much. And I can see a good number of people are here. And it's our pleasure to be here. We'll come with this kind of, we usually from every month we do this kind of training program. So if you're first time, please keep with us, and you can get more training program from us. And we are now, I'm welcoming all of you to join the International Youth Summit platform. This is a versatile youth platform. And people are from different countries are actually joining here. If you're first time here, you can actually look the information from us. And also the Tomorrow CEO program is a very, what we call like we call it like holistic training program that actually cover you all the question. Like if you join Tomorrow CEO program, we'll give you more support. We give you the format, we give you the interview skills, and there are more than 100 trainings are there. So core 24 training, and then more than 100 trainings are there to sub. So I'm also requesting you to think about the Tomorrow CEO program. You can join Tomorrow CEO program and to improve your skill set. As I said, those who are lack of information, lack of skill set, please do involve with something which is actually not just 1 day or 2 day, but structural development, skill development program that actually cover so many lackings of you. Okay, thank you, Sadia. Back to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for all those information and correction points with us. As we have been here for a long time, but I didn't have any clue that the time is running so fast. I'd like to acknowledge all of you. Thank you so much for joining with us, especially our partners. I have seen lots of you have been joining TSL from TSL and ask, and so lots of well-wishers. Thank you all the trainees who have joined and stayed with us. Yes, this session is for all of you, including our officials, participants, and everyone who have been joining with us for a long time or short time, whatever it is. And as we have mentioned that, yes, we had a long day of office, and after that we had lots of work, but we didn't feel bad joining this session, because we feel that it will create a value in your life. Because as I said, if you work on that, obviously you will have a valuable and very heavyweight CV, and that will work on your job placement and everything else. So thank you very much for joining with us, and whoever from I can see lots of our officials have joined from lots of countries, different countries. And again, once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. Thank you very much for joining, and yes, wish you good luck.
I like to say thank you to SIP project organizer or the officials, and also the BACO and BASIS, because they are doing awesome job. They are providing the free training program, scholarship training program for many of you. So please, whenever as you join this program, please do complete this program honestly from your heart, learn as much as possible, and convey our gratitude, thanks to your organization. Thank you so much.
Yes, and congratulations on your scholarship, because you have got the scholarship. We never got this opportunity, right, sir? But you got. So see how brilliant you are, and work on that. Work on your self-development and stay with us. We are coming soon with new or different training programs for all of you. Thank you very much. Good night, and have a nice rest of the day. Thank you very much, sir. And obviously, whoever have been joined with us, I would like to acknowledge some names: Srishti Bhaiya, and also Anupama, Shojon, Pratibha Pandey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much who have joined with us within your class time.
Float like a butterfly,
also,
sting like a bee. King Kong got nothing on me. When your back's against the wall, better fight back. Yeah, we ready to brawl, we wanna fight back. You gotta think in the side, yeah, fight back.
Okay, let's say bye. No, bye.
Yes,
Alright.
sir, there are 902 questions more. So
Wow.
how are you going to answer today?
Okay. Oops. Bye-bye.